Hello and welcome. Want to know how to apply the final touches to make your document look great? In this module, you'll explore what's required to apply the finishing touches to your Microsoft Word documents. You'll learn how to apply accessibility features, adjust the page layout, and use the various referencing and save options that are available. Having a clear and easy-to-read Word document will make your readers more likely to engage in your content. Whatever document or paper you're finalizing, this module has something for you. In this module, you'll explore how to use the accessibility features, set save options, control text flow, control page appearance, add captions and references to a document, add hyperlinks, footnotes, and endnotes, and add citations, bibliographies, and tables of contents. So let's get started. In previous modules, you were introduced to Grace from Westcow Publishing. Grace has been tasked with finalizing a document based on the solar system for a local school. She is completing this in Microsoft Word and needs to make sure that the document has been made fully accessible. Imagine if you were visually impaired and applying for a college course, but your screen reader cannot read the application form. You can appreciate how frustrating that would be. This type of inaccessibility interferes with your ability to obtain and use information quickly and easily. Accessibility is a key focus area, and many countries have introduced regulations that provide the relevant guidelines. If document design is approached in the right way, you can make it easy for everyone, regardless of how they access the document. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to check the accessibility of your document and use the accessibility features within Word. Let's start by exploring several areas that you should consider when making your document accessible. You can improve the accessibility of your document by applying alternative text to a graphic element. This allows for a description to be read out loud, using the table accessibility option, which helps users interpret table data, applying a consistent style of headings to help readers understand the structure of your document, trying to avoid watermarks as this may not be accessible to people with a visual impairment, keeping empty space to a minimum, and remaining consistent in your approach. Let's follow Grace as she takes a closer look at how to check the accessibility of a Word document. Microsoft Word has brilliant features that support accessibility and ensure any document can be accessible to everyone. The first step Grace takes is to navigate to the Review tab. Then select the Check Accessibility button. You'll find the Accessibility Checker task pane open on the right-hand side. Here the contents are divided into sections showing errors or warnings. The Errors section flags issues such as graphic items without alternate text or tables that don't have header rows. People with disabilities have difficulty with both of those. The Warnings section lists issues such as hard-to-read color combinations. You can click on an entry in this list to see suggested ways to fix the problem. Clicking also takes you directly to the item. Let's fix an error now by using the image of the solar system on the first page. You can add alternative text to this by right-clicking the picture, then click the Edit Alt Text command at the bottom. Now, simply enter a description in the box. Below is a tick box that allows you to mark the object as decorative so that the screen reader ignores it. When you are done, just click X, and that's it. You'll notice that the error has now disappeared from the list. You have now learned how to check the accessibility within Word. Now, let's explore the built-in tools Microsoft Word provides for people with reading challenges. Word offers brilliant features that support your readers who have reading challenges. You locate them by navigating to the Review tab along the top ribbon and select Read Aloud from the left-hand side. As you can see, the reading begins and the words start highlighting. You also find the video controls in the top right corner of the document. If you're visually impaired, you have the Immersive View option, which also features Read Aloud. To switch to this, select the View tab and then Immersive Reader. Options within the Immersive View let you adjust its appearance like column width, page coloring, line focus or text spacing, and turning Read Aloud on or off. Finally, to return to the previous view, simply click Close Immersive Reader. Well done! You've now explored accessibility in Word documents and learned how to make your documents more accessible for everyone. Microsoft Word saves files using a default file format, But what happens if your coworker has an older version of Word that uses an incompatible file format? In this lesson, you'll explore file formats and compatibility, autosave and auto-recover, and additional file types. Imagine trying to open a Word document and you cannot access the information. It's probably because it's been saved in a file format that Word doesn't support on your device. Microsoft Word gives you the option to save your document in a variety of formats. This feature allows you to view your document on multiple devices. Let's say you want to send your document as a read-only document to a friend or colleague to view on a device that does not support Word. You can save your document as a PDF. Making your document a read-only file means that the document can be read or copied but not edited. You previously met Grace from WestCal. She is working on a solar system document that is due to be distributed among school teachers and WestCal management. She's going to explore features of Word that ensure compatibility on any device. Let's follow Grace as she explores compatibility and available file formats within Word. Microsoft Word has features that allow you to save a Word document using a selected file format in the Save As dialog box. To view this list, Grace needs to access the Backstage view. She opens her Word document and clicks on the File tab at the top left of the ribbon. Then, clicks the Save As option from the File tab's menu. Here, you'll find the Save options on the right-hand side. In the upper right is a drop-down list of various file formats. These are formats you can save your document as. The list includes PDF, which can be used to make your document read-only. You also have the ability to save it as an older version of Microsoft Word. You should note that if you save in a previous version of Word, some formatting choices might be lost. You'll notice at the top it states Compatibility Mode. That's because this document was already saved in an earlier version of Word. Compatibility Mode disables new Word features so that the document can be edited using the earlier version of Word. Compatibility Mode also preserves the layout of the document. Grace needs to convert it to the newest version, but first needs to use the compatibility checker to see if any elements in the Word document are not supported. To do this, navigate to the File tab menu on the left-hand side, go to Check for Issues and click on the down arrow. Finally, select Check Compatibility at the bottom of the drop-down menu. Any issues are listed under Summary in the Compatibility Checker dialog box. Don't worry, Word lets you know if any issues arise. Just make a note of them and click OK. Then just decide what changes you need to make. Let's now convert it to the latest version of Microsoft Word. Click the File tab, select the Info command from the File tab's menu, click Convert, then click OK in the dialog box that just opened. That's it. The file is now converted to the latest and greatest version of Microsoft Word. You may have experienced that moment of panic where you forgot to save your document. Let's take a look at how autosave and auto-recover features can help you find a solution. Grace is completing her document compatibility checks when suddenly the power goes off at WestCal. Fortunately for Grace, Microsoft Word has brilliant features that will help in this scenario. If you save your files to your PC, the auto-recover feature makes regular backup files to your machine as you work. If your PC crashed while you were working on the document, Word would be able to access those backup files for you. Whether you are working with the online or desktop version of Word, your documents can be saved online in the cloud. When you save your file in the cloud, you can switch an autosave, which means any changes are automatically saved as you work. Let's join Grace as she explores how to enable these features in Word. The first step Grace will take is to navigate to File in the top ribbon, and then Options down at the bottom. This opens the Word Options dialog box. Choose the Save category from the list on the left-hand side and enable Autosave and Auto-Recover at the top. Great! The document will now back up. Simply click OK to confirm. If Auto-Recover was already enabled, then Word has been making backups already. If Word crashes, the next time you open Word, you'll see a task pane open on the left-hand side with a list of files you had open when it crashed, which you right-click on to open. Also, there may be times when you'll want to recover an unsaved document. You do this by simply clicking the file in your ribbon, then Open, and the Recover Unsaved Documents option at the bottom. Click any document to open it and work with it as normal, or cancel if you don't need that right now. Now you know that enabling the additional save features in Word can help you to avoid losing your work when the unexpected happens. What if grace is required to use the material contained within a non-editable document like a PDF? This file format is non-native to Word. However, Grace can use a brilliant Word feature that allows you to open and convert this into a regular Word document. Let's explore this now within Word. Firstly, Grace navigates to File along the top ribbon, then Open on the left-hand side, and Browse at the bottom. You should note that while in this example we are using a PDF document, this method works for any non-native file format. Here you find a list of files displayed in the box. Select All Files from the drop-down list in the bottom right. Then choose the file you wish to open. When you click Open, a dialog box regarding conversion will appear. You simply click OK to proceed. The file opens in Word and you can work with it as normal. You save your updated file or any Word document as a PDF by navigating to File, Save As, and choose PDF from the drop-down list. Then simply click Save to complete the process. There may be times where Grace has a large amount of text in a different document that she wants to place in the current document she's working on. Grace could do this through another great Word feature called Append Text to a Document. Let's discover how to do this in Word. Grace places her cursor where she wants the appended text to appear and navigates to Insert along the top ribbon. Then click Object from the text group and select Text from File in the drop-down. The Insert File box opens. Simply navigate to the document and click Insert at the bottom. The text is added to the document and can be edited as normal. Grace wants to have the document update automatically, so it matches the content from the linked document. To do this, place the cursor where the text is to appear, and now move to the text group. Click on Object drop-down, and instead of Text from File, select Object. This opens a new box. Navigate to Create from File tab, browse on the right-hand side, then select your file from the open box and click Insert. And simply check the Link to File box on the right and click OK. The object is now added to the document, and every time this document is opened, the link file is checked for updates. It's important to note that this will only work if the linked file is accessible. If the file is moved or deleted, the update will no longer occur. Well done! You've now explored additional file types and the save options. Now you're ready to test your knowledge and apply what you've learned. So far in this module, you've been focusing on some of the great features and tools within Word. But visuals are equally important, and one of the great things about Microsoft Word is they are so simple to use. Let's explore the varied features that Word offers to make text and content stand out. Grace from Westcal is looking at the overall appearance of a document she's working on. This is vital to the readability and appearance of the document to ensure it matches Westcal's usual standards. In this lesson, you'll explore how to apply a page border and color, add a watermark, add headers and footers, and control page layout. Let's begin with borders and colors. The term border refers to the line that is placed around a page, paragraph, or word. A border or page color is a great design element that Microsoft Word offers that's used to improve the visual appearance of your document. Grace wants to apply this to her document, so let's explore how this is done in Word. The first step Grace takes is to navigate to the Design tab. Now, in the Page Background group, click Page Border on the right. In the box that opens, you can choose a quick setting from the list on the left-hand side. Clicking OK will immediately apply it to your document. Or, to customize it further, choose a style, color, width, or art from the center. Then use the buttons on the right-hand side to decide what area of the border you would like to enable. For example, if you just want a bottom border, you can click the bottom button. The drop-down menu below lets you choose to apply to the whole document or just the page you're on. And once you have made your choices, click OK to apply or cancel. To change the page color for all pages within your document, click the Design tab along the top, then Page Color. Now choose a color from the drop-down menu. As you hover over each color, a preview will appear on the page. Once you select the color, your change will apply to the entire document. Grace wants this color to apply when printing a document, so she's going to navigate to the word Options dialog box by clicking File along the top, then Options at the bottom. Now select the Display category in the opened Options box, and navigate to the Printing options at the bottom. Just check the Print Background Colors and Images checkbox and click OK. That's it. Now when the document is printed, this color will be applied. In addition to page borders and colors, watermarks can be added to your document. They help make important information about your document more visible. Watermarks can be text or a picture and can appear as an item in the background throughout every page in your document. Let's join Grace as she explores this in Word. The first step Grace will take is to navigate to Design tab. Then click Watermark on the right-hand side. A drop-down menu opens showing the quick options available to select. To apply, simply click the watermark that you want. As you'll notice, the watermark is applied to every page in the document. For additional watermark options, navigate back to Design tab, then Watermark on the right-hand side. At the bottom, you will find Remove Watermark, which deletes the one you currently have applied. Grace wants to apply a picture as her watermark, so she'll navigate back to Watermark along the top. Then select Custom Watermark from the drop-down. A further options box opens. Select Picture Watermark at the top. Then click the Select Picture button and browse to the picture that you want. Once selected, click Insert at the bottom and then you'll return to the Options box. If the picture you've applied is dark, it may need to be lightened. Therefore, check the Washed Out box on the right-hand side. Once you are done, simply click OK to apply or cancel to go back. That's it. You have now looked at the great features Microsoft Word offers for applying borders, page colors, and watermarks. Another way in which you customize your page appearance is by using headers and footers. They're used to place information that is set apart from the body of your document and repeat on every page. Headers are located at the top of your page, while footers are located at the bottom. An example would be page numbers. To give your document a more polished look, apply these to the header or footer and have them repeat on every page. To keep Westcal standards, Grace is required to apply a page number as a footer in all her work. Let's follow Grace through these steps. Grace starts by clicking the Insert tab, then Page Number on the right-hand side. In the drop-down menu, she can select a location. Grace wants hers at the bottom of the page, so clicks Bottom of Page, then selects a page number position from the sub-menu. It's immediately applied, and as you can see, it's applied to every page of her document. Within the same area, you can also add a full header. To do this, click Header on the far left-hand side and select the type of header you want to add from the drop-down list. Again, it's immediately applied. Just type in the header that you want. When you're finished, simply click Close Header on the left to return to your document. The exact same process applies to adding a footer. As with page numbers, headers and footers are applied to every page. Great! See how simple Microsoft Word makes their features? What would you do if you were working on a document and needed additional space, or needed it to be in landscape instead of portrait mode? Another way you customize page appearance is in the page layout. Word lets you adjust the page margins. This refers to the white space around the edge of your document. Grace is working on a document and noticed a large amount of space in one section. She is going to reduce the margin size to give the content more room. First, she navigates to the Layout tab, then clicks Margins on the far left. In the drop-down list that appears, you'll notice that it is set to wide margins. Grace wants to reduce the margin size, so she clicks Normal Margins. This immediately changes your entire document. Do you notice the difference? Grace can also change the orientation. This refers to how the text is positioned on the page. With Portrait, text is printed down the long side of the page. With Landscape, text is printed along the short side. To adjust it, click the Layout tab, then Orientation from the left-hand side. Then simply choose Portrait or Landscape from the drop-down menu. Let's leave this one on Portrait mode. As you can see, Microsoft Word makes their layout features easy to use. In her document, Grace wants to apply a page break to a particular section. A page break is a physical end to the text on a page. While Word implements page breaks depending on page size, a manual page break can also be inserted. There are two ways to do this. The first is by simply pressing Ctrl and Enter. Anything after the cursor is moved to the next page of the document. The second is done by placing your cursor where the page break should be. Then click the Layout tab, then Breaks, and Page Break at the top of the drop-down menu. If you need to remove a page break, position your cursor at the start of the first word at the top of the page and click Backspace on your keyboard. Well done! You've now explored the features within Word that allow you to control the page appearance. Now you're ready to test your knowledge and apply what you've learned. When you are working within Word, layout is vital to the readability of your document. If you think about how a newsletter is structured, you have columns, pictures, and text boxes aligned or structured beside each other. They are designed to improve the readability and understanding of the content for the audience. Word has several features to support this function. This might be to insert columns, link text boxes, or working with paragraph spacing. These features can also be customized to suit your needs. By the end of the lesson, you'll explore how to control paragraph flow, insert section breaks, insert columns, and link text boxes. With any client publications, WestCal always works on the structural layout of a document. This could involve paragraph layout, spacing, or even picture positioning. Given their publishing experience, they know and understand the requirements of their customers. Grace is working on a document for a local school. Before she moves her work to a management review, it's vital that she checks the document's flow and layout. As mentioned, Microsoft Word has some great tools that help Grace with this. Microsoft Word has features that allow you to control a paragraph visually and fine-tune how the text flows from one paragraph to the next. Let's discover how to control text flow through the paragraph options. These options can be found within the paragraph group of the Home tab. Word has several tools that have default settings in place that work in many scenarios, such as text alignment, borders, indentation, and spacing. Word also features additional tools within the paragraph dialog box, all of which can be adjusted to suit your needs. At WestCal, Grace needs to put her document through a final check. As part of this task, she'll explore the paragraph options. This checking process ensures the content matches WestCal's standards. She starts by selecting a paragraph to focus on. To do this, click and drag your mouse across the selected paragraph. You're already familiar with the paragraph section on the Home ribbon. Grace is going to focus on the additional options, so clicks the Paragraph Options button on the bottom right of this area to open the paragraph dialog box. You previously explored the Indent and Spacing tab that lets you customize paragraph indents and line spacing. Let's look at the second tab, Line and Page Breaks, that has options to control page layout. They include Widow and Orphan Control, which prevents a single line of a paragraph from being left alone at the top or bottom of a page. Keep with Next keeps the selected paragraph on the same page as the next paragraph. Keep Lines Together keeps a selection of text together and prevents it from being broken across pages. And Page Break Before ensures that the selected text always appears on a new page. Once you have set your options, click OK to apply them. If you create long, complicated documents, you'll find that section breaks can be useful. They let you divide your document into independent sections, allowing you to apply different headers, footers, page formatting, and so forth. For example, let's imagine you have a document where you need to accommodate a wide chart. Section breaks work perfectly in this scenario as they allow you to adjust the page orientation to landscape just for that section. To locate this option, you navigate to the Layout tab and then Breaks, which opens the drop-down menu. Here you find two sections, one for page breaks and another for section breaks. As you saw in the last lesson, a page break ends the page where you place your cursor by immediately moving text from the rest of the page to the next page. Section breaks are different. They divide your document up into sections. These sections then work independently to the rest of the document. Back at WestCal, Grace is continuing to put her document through the final checks. As part of this task, she'll now ensure the sectioning is done correctly and follows WestCal's procedures. Let's explore how this is done. As you discovered earlier, you may want different items on different pages, so dividing your document into independent sections allows you to do this. The page on the screen has a diagram that is wider than the page and would be inaccessible to readers. Grace needs to adjust this page to be a different section to the rest of her document. She starts off by clicking at the start of the page where the diagram appears. then navigates to the Layout tab, and then breaks to open the drop-down menu. Grace has 4 types of section breaks to choose from. Let's go through the options. Next page moves the text after the cursor to a new page. Unlike a page break, you will be able to have different settings after the section break. Continuous inserts a section break which starts a new section on the same page. Even page starts a new section at the next even-numbered page, depending which one you select. An odd page, these section breaks also start a new section, but at the next odd-numbered page. As you can see, Word has various options to suit your needs. Grace selects Next Page from the drop-down menu because she wants to insert a section break and start with a new section on the next page. Once selected, navigate to Layout tab, then Orientation on the left, and select Landscape. Great! You'll notice that this page is now in landscape and the diagram is fully visible. However, the remaining pages in the document are in portrait. There's a lot that section breaks can be used for, like having different types of headers and footers on different pages, having different margins on different pages, or even different page borders and page numbering. Remember, a section break is a hidden character. You make it visible by using the Show Hide button on the home screen. Earlier, you looked at accessibility. One of the other benefits of adding section breaks is that it will help your readers navigate through the document more easily, particularly if they're using accessibility tools such as a screen reader. Columns are another way to control the text flow of your document. They're particularly useful for documents such as newsletters, flyers, or promotional literature. They offer you an alternative way of laying out your information. There are several features and customizations within Microsoft Word relating to columns. Word can set up columns automatically for you, or you can customize their appearance. While checking on her document, Grace noticed one section that'll work better as 2 columns. Following Wes Cowell's guidelines, she'll adjust this within Word. Let's look at how she'll achieve this. The first step Grace takes is to select the text that she wants to format. This could be a paragraph or a numbered list. Now navigate to the Layout tab and click the Columns button in the Page Setup group. This opens a drop-down menu of column styles. Select an option to apply the column style to your page. Clicking on the options in the drop-down, and the paragraph immediately changes. By selecting columns again and clicking more columns at the bottom, there's additional options such as the specific number of columns, the width and spacing. Also, the checkbox on the right inserts a line between columns, which is useful for booklets and brochures. And at the bottom, in the Apply To drop-down, you can select whether to apply these settings to the selected text, selected sections, or the whole document. Once you click OK, it's formatted automatically in line with the choices you've made. Now let's explore linking text boxes. When you're working with columns in Word, you can end up spending a lot of time making sure that the text flows evenly from one column to the other. You can avoid much of this formatting by replacing columns with another great Microsoft Word feature called linked text boxes. The real advantage of using text boxes is that the text box automatically adjusts. So even if you make changes to the size and position, or if you add or delete text, Word will automatically adjust the box. Grace has now inserted a section break and added columns to her document. She has a paragraph that she wants to convert to linked text boxes. This allows any content changes to adjust automatically in the future. Let's discover how to complete this in Word. On screen, there's an image with a text box beneath. Notice that the text box isn't large enough to contain the amount of text. Rather than extend the text box, Grace could create another text box to the right. Firstly, she navigates to the Insert tab, then Text Box on the right-hand side. Grace selects Draw Text Box from the drop-down menu and places it in her document beside the other text box by clicking and dragging to set the size. Now click the first text box you wish to link. To do this, you need to click the edge of the text box to select the shape. Select Shape Format from the top, then click Create Link, and then click the second empty text box you just created. Great! The boxes are now linked. You'll notice how text flows from one box to the next, and you can still adjust the size. This simple feature that Microsoft Word offers has solved Grace's issue. If you need to break the link, you simply select the first linked box, Then navigate to Shape Format and click the Break Link command in the center of the ribbon. Did you notice how all the text has now moved back to the original text box? Earlier, you learned how to control the text flow using the Append Text feature. In this scenario, Grace can use this feature to add text directly into the text box she created. Well done! You've learned to control the paragraph flow, insert columns, and link text boxes. Now you're ready to test your knowledge and apply what you've learned. Have you ever worked on a document with several images that you try to keep track of manually? If so, you know that it can be time-consuming, particularly if you want to list the images for readers to refer to. It can be easy to lose track. Microsoft Word has great features that do this work for you. In previous lessons, you met Grace from WestCal. She is finalizing a document she's working on. Following WestCal standards, she's now going to focus on referencing images and graphics within the solar system document. This is vital to supporting the reader in navigating the document more easily. So in this lesson, let's explore adding captions, inserting cross-references, and adding bookmarks. Captions allow you to add text descriptions to visual elements in a document, such as pictures. They're also used as reference points for cross-reference links and as entries for a table of figures. The reader can then consult the table of figures like an index to locate the items. Microsoft Word has a great feature that allows you to caption graphics or images in your document. They allow you to label these graphics so your reader can quickly identify what they mean and refer to them later. They can be applied to several types of graphics, including diagrams, maps, and flowcharts. They can be particularly useful when you are working on a document with numerous images. While working on a document, Grace has located an image that has not been captioned. In order to maintain WestCal standards, she'll now add this within Word. Let's discover how she does this. The first step Grace takes is to click the image where the caption is required. Then, click References in the middle of the top tab, and then Insert Caption on the right-hand side. After you click Caption, a box appears. The word figure and a number will already be populated. Word keeps track of captions, so the numbers automatically update as you insert new ones. It's good practice to enter your title after the number, in this case, Babylonians. In the following options, you choose what type of label should be applied to your caption text and the position of the label. Checking the Exclude Label from Caption box hides the label part of your caption. Once you're happy with your caption, click OK, and it's added. Grace now needs to add a table of captioned figures to her document. This allows the reader to navigate through each caption quickly. You're able to place the table anywhere in the document. Grace is going to place hers at the bottom, so moves to the end of the document and clicks to place her cursor there. Then, staying within the References tab, selects Insert Table of Figures. This launches the Table of Figures dialog box that shows you a preview of how the table looks, options for showing page numbers, alignment, and adding links, and you can adjust the font type and label. Once you're happy with your settings, click OK and the table will be inserted into your document. You can navigate to any caption in the document by pressing Control and clicking on the table headings. Great! You have successfully added captions for each figure in your document and created a table of figures to enable you to easily view and locate all of the figures included. A cross-reference allows you to link to other parts of the same document. For example, Grace might use a cross-reference to link to a chart or graphic that appears elsewhere in her document. They must be linked to specific document elements like headings, bookmarks, and captioned figures. You can also use cross-references to help your reader navigate through a large document by adding links. The reader simply holds the Control key and clicks Reference to navigate directly to the location. Let's discover how Grace applies this in Word. To maintain WestCal standards and procedures, Grace needs to add a cross-reference to a particular section. You'll notice on screen that there's a section that talks about the Big Bang Theory. Grace wants to refer her readers to the introduction page regarding the solar system on page 1. To do this, Grace places her cursor at the end of the section and enters some text to prompt the reader. Then, Grace navigates to the Insert tab and clicks the Links button. The Links drop-down menu provides 3 options: Link, Bookmark, and Cross-Reference. Click Cross-Reference to open the dialog box. From the Reference Type drop-down menu, choose the type of object that you want to link. Grace chooses Heading and then can select Solar System from a list of headings in the document. Click Insert to create the cross-reference link. Great! The link is now added. The cross-reference dialog box will remain open. Click Close to return to your document. Now, when you hover over that entry, a box appears that identifies it as a link. You can navigate directly to the associated header in the document by pressing Ctrl and clicking the link. Have you ever read a book and placed notes to mark items you want to come back to? Word has a great feature that's called Bookmark, which works like a bookmark you might place in a book. It marks a place that you want to find again easily. You can enter as many bookmarks as you want in your document. They can be useful for making points in your document to be visited later, improving accessibility by helping navigation, or helping to identify text for macros or other automated operations. Grace is working on a document and has found an area that needs revision. She will finish her current task but wants to return to this item later to complete it. To help identify it later, she's going to bookmark this section within Word. She starts by selecting the location where she wants to insert the bookmark, then navigates to the Insert tab and clicks the Links button. As you have seen previously, you have 3 different choices here: Link, Bookmark, and Cross-Reference. Grace needs to add a bookmark, so clicks Bookmark to open the dialog box. Now type a name for the bookmark. You should note that spaces and certain characters are not allowed. The Add button will only become active when a valid name is entered. Click Add, and that's it. The bookmark has now been added to the document. You navigate to a bookmark by pressing the F5 key on your keyboard, which launches the Find and Replace dialog box. Then, select Bookmark from the list. Choose the bookmark you want from the drop-down menu, and select Go To, and just close the box. Did you notice you navigated directly to the location of the bookmark? By default, bookmarks are not shown and appear as ordinary text. To make them visible, navigate to the Word Options dialog box by clicking the File tab, then Options at the bottom, then click the Advanced category, scroll to the Show Document Content section, check the Show Bookmarks box, and click OK. Now, when Grace returns to her document, the bookmark is indicated by square brackets. If a bookmark is no longer needed, click Insert, then Bookmark from the Links drop-down menu, select the bookmark to be removed, and use the Delete button to remove it. Well done! You've now explored tools available in Word that allow you to add captions and references to refer people back to, and add bookmarks at places in your document to be referred to later. Now you're ready to test your knowledge and apply what you've learned. As we have already seen, there are many referencing features in Microsoft Word that help readers navigate through a document. Hyperlinks, footnotes, and endnotes take this further by providing explanations or links to sources that expand on the information provided. By the end of this lesson, you'll have explored how to add hyperlinks and insert footnotes and endnotes. Information accuracy and support are a mainstay in Westcal's documents. As such, clients have come to expect high standards. Grace is working on a document that she is finalizing. Before any review takes place, she must apply any links and source information where required. Let's look at some of the great tools Microsoft Word offers that helps Grace complete this. Have you ever read a document and thought to yourself, wow, I'd like to learn more about that subject? One of the great features of Microsoft Word is hyperlinks. They can immediately direct your reader to an external source to learn more about the content and are a mainstay in the computing world, allowing you to navigate your computer, browse the internet, and jump to different locations, all within the same file. You might have read a document previously and seen a hyperlink. You'll always recognize it as a hyperlink within Word as it's a different color and is underlined, so the reader knows that it's a link to an external source. There are certain websites where you don't need to insert the hyperlink yourself. You simply type the web page name and it automatically becomes a hyperlink for you. For all others that don't automate, you need to create one manually. Let's join Grace now as she creates a hyperlink in the document that she is working on. Grace noticed at the end of her document there's a website that refers people to additional information. However, a hyperlink has not been created for it. To create this, Grace highlights the words she wants to hyperlink, then navigates to the Insert tab and selects the Links button. Here you have 3 different choices: link, bookmark, and cross-reference. You'll notice a small arrow below the link button that allows you to immediately link any recent files. However, Grace wants to link directly to a web page, so clicks Link to open the Insert Hyperlink dialog box. The Link To area allows you to select the type of link you want to create, either a web page, a place in your document, or an email address. The contents in the center of the box change depending on the option chosen. Grace wants to link to a website, so clicks Existing File or Web Page. You'll find the website has populated for you in the address bar, as this was the selected text in your document. You can adjust the text that is displayed in the Text to Display area. Grace chooses to show NASA website and clicks OK. Great! The hyperlink is now created. Do you see how the only text displayed is NASA website and it is now a different color? Try hovering your mouse over the link. It tells you the URL address. You navigate directly to the website by clicking the link. You also have the option to set up a screen tip for the link. This is a small reference or information that appears when you hover your mouse over the hyperlink. You can edit a hyperlink after it has been created. Let's try this now. Right-click the hyperlink you just added and click Edit Hyperlink. Now click Screen Tip. Enter the text you want to appear. Press OK, and OK again. Now, when you hover over the hyperlink, the URL no longer appears. The only reference is the screen tip you specified. To remove a hyperlink, select Edit Hyperlink from the right-click menu. You'll find the Remove Link button just above the OK and Cancel buttons. Have you ever had to complete an academic paper and reference your sources? Microsoft Word has a great footnotes feature that allows you to explain, comment on, or provide references in your document. They can provide your reader with the source for a particular quote, or give additional details about items the reader may be unfamiliar with. When you insert a footnote, they appear at the bottom of the page where you make your reference. The only difference between footnotes and endnotes is where they appear. Footnotes appear at the end of the page, endnotes at the end of the document. While working on her document, Grace has noticed that a paragraph of text hasn't been referenced, as is standard procedure within WestCal. Grace needs to apply a footnote so it appears at the end of the page the text is on. Let's follow her to find out how this is done. Grace starts by placing her cursor at the point in the text that is being referenced and navigates to the Reference tab and clicks Insert Footnote. You immediately jump to the bottom of the current page where you find a line that is numbered. You enter the required information, and that's it. The footnote has now been created. Each footnote you create after this is numbered, allowing you to navigate to them as required. With an endnote, you simply click Endnote instead. Let's do this now. Did you see how you were taken to the end of the document rather than the end of the current page? Endnotes also insert a line allowing you to type in the information needed. You navigate through the notes you created by selecting the Reference tab and clicking the drop-down menu beside Next Footnote. Then simply press Next or Previous for both footnotes and endnotes to navigate through them. You delete a note by selecting the footnote reference and press Delete on your keyboard. When you do this, all other footnotes will renumber. Well done! You've now learned how to add hyperlinks, footnotes, and endnotes. Now you're ready to test your knowledge and apply what you've learned. In an earlier lesson, you learned how to add links and endnotes for referencing purposes. But what if you're working on a large academic paper and need to access a list of sources for your information? Or you have a document with numerous headings and subheadings. How will you document and organize the content? Did you notice in previous modules that Microsoft Word has a lot of features? This lesson is no exception. WestCal regularly makes use of these features, and Grace needs them now for a document that she's finalizing. To do this, she'll explore the Table of Contents feature that eases navigation and adds a bibliography to note any sources that were used. However, the first feature she'll explore is citations and sources. Therefore, by the end of the lesson, you'll have learned how to add citations, insert a bibliography, and add a table of contents. To begin, let's explore sources. The term source refers to any resource you use in creating a document. These could include websites, books, journals, reports, and interviews. Adding sources and citations to your document acknowledges the contribution of writers and researchers in your work. Any document that draws on the ideas, words, or research from others should always contain referencing. Take a scenario where you work for a company that produces numerous documents. The information obtained for these may have come from various sources. To acknowledge this, you need to add the sources and reference them in your work. Thankfully, when you're using Word, there's a feature that allows you to manage sources across all your documents. This is particularly useful if you reference sources on a document today, then work on a separate document in 2 months. You'll have access to the same list of sources that you used on the first document. Let's explore this in Word. Grace has noticed that a particular paragraph is missing a citation. She first checks that her source has been previously added to the Source Manager by clicking the References tab and then Manage Sources. This opens the Source Manager dialog box. In here, you'll find several sources already listed on the right-hand side. You create a source by clicking New. However, Grace's source is already listed, so she closes this box. You add the citation by first selecting the relevant text. Now choose the citation you want by clicking the References tab and then Insert Citation. From the drop-down menu that appears, simply click the source you want to reference, and that's it. By default, Word uses the APA style for the document sources and bibliographies. However, if you want to change this style, just click the References tab and then Style. This will show a drop-down list of various styles. Simply select your preferred choice and the citation changes. Grace has now checked the Source Manager and added a missing citation. But have you ever seen a list at the end of a document that references a year, book, or name? This is a bibliography. It's used to list the citations that have been referenced in your document. They are useful in large academic papers or documents with numerous sources. Anybody reviewing it can immediately find all the reference sources without the need of navigating through the whole document. In order to add one, any sources must have already been added and cited in your work. Let's discover how to apply this feature in Word. After adding the sources and finalizing citations, Grace now wants to add a bibliography to the document. The first step she takes is choosing a location in her document for the bibliography. Now, click the References tab, then Bibliography from the center, and select a style from the drop-down menu. That's it. As you can see, the bibliography has been inserted. Microsoft Word also has a great feature that updates the bibliography for you. This is useful if you have altered the sources or changed the style. There are a few ways you can update it. The easiest is to select the bibliography and press F9 on your keyboard. Any changes to the source or style updates automatically. Another way is to select the bibliography and click Update Citations and Bibliography at the top. And lastly, by right-clicking on the bibliography and selecting Update Field. The last area Grace focuses on is inserting a table of contents. Microsoft Word includes some powerful features for automatically generating tables of contents, which list the major headings in your document. This is incredibly useful for accessibility of navigating through a larger document. Once the headings have been styled and a table of contents inserted, each heading in the table of contents acts as a hyperlink. This allows you to immediately navigate to that section of the document. Grace is working on a document that does not have any table of contents inserted. To maintain WESCAL standards and before any client review, this will need to be completed. Let's explore this in Word. Earlier, you learned how to apply styles to your document. Microsoft Word has a great feature that inserts a table of contents in just 3 steps, assuming that heading styles have already been applied. Grace knows how to do this. So the first step she takes is to choose a location in her document for the table of contents. Then, click the References tab, then Table of Contents on the far left. Now click one of the automatic options. And that's it. You'll notice that Word brilliantly takes all the headings and automatically categorizes them into a table of contents for you. To support accessibility, each heading in the table of contents acts as a hyperlink, allowing you to immediately navigate to that section by pressing Control and clicking the heading. In the Table of Contents drop-down menu, you'll also find a Manual and Custom option. These allow you to create a table of contents yourself if you don't have your heading styled or want to build a custom table with a heading level greater than 3. With either of these options, you must do all the work yourself. The automatic option suited Grace's needs, so she chose one of them. Another great feature of Word is how easy Microsoft has made updating any changes. If you've made changes to headings in your document, the table of contents can be updated by simply clicking inside the table of contents and pressing F9 on your keyboard. Any changes to your headings or styles will update automatically. Another way is to select the table of contents and click Update Table of Contents at the top, or by right-clicking the table of contents and selecting Update Field, and lastly by navigating to the References tab and clicking Update Table. With any of these actions, a dialog box will open in which you can choose to update the entire table or just the page numbers. Click OK and the table updates. To remove the table of contents, select the table and click in the top left corner to open the drop-down menu. At the bottom is the option to remove table. Simply click it and the table of contents will disappear. As you have seen, Microsoft Word makes it extremely easy to create a table of contents in just a few simple steps. Well done! You've now explored citations, bibliographies, and tables of contents. Great! You've now explored the numerous features Microsoft Word offers for finalizing documents. You learned how to enhance your documents using various Word options on appearance and text flow, and how adding accessibility and referencing greatly enhances content. Let's recap what you've learned. You started by joining Grace from WestCal as she checked the accessibility features within Word. You explored file compatibility and discovered how to use autosave and recover lost documents. You then learned how to append text between documents. Next, Grace demonstrated how adding borders, page color, and watermarks enhance your content. You also learned how to add page numbers and headers. You moved on to explore the various text flow options, including margins and breaks, and how adding columns make your documents easier to read. Next, Grace talked you through adding in captions and cross-references. You explored hyperlinks and adding bookmarks to your document. You also learned how to insert citations and bibliographies. And finally, you discovered how to enhance the appearance and accessibility of your document by adding tables of content. Well done! You've now explored multiple ways of applying the finishing touches to your documents. Great work!
Thank you for watching our video. We hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, please share it with them. We would love to hear your thoughts on this learning course, so please leave a comment below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.